I'm going to rattle through a few messages. Why are they laughing? Why are they laughing? Right, Ben, it's because you're a joke. Badenoch is what you get when you let the trainee loose on their first assignment, except it's like their first assignment every week. Why are they laughing, asks Badenoch as she walks unwittingly headfirst into the heffalump trap. Has he read the papers this morning? This is Ben, who helpfully provides his age, which, if you're interested, Natasha, is 24. I guess what the people think doesn't matter, just the papers. I thought that was an odd thing to say. James goes niche. Badenoch reminds me of Diana Ross during the 1994 World Cup opening ceremony. It'll be on YouTube.
Yeah, sorry, what is that?
Matt writes, she's been woeful again. Let me find something nice, because that is only fair. What have we done? Tell you what, I can't believe I'm saying this. Badenoch was actually quite good today, unlike Starmer. And I had one positive comment on my Blue Sky as well. Tell you what, I can't believe I'm saying this. That's the same person, sorry. That's because I've got my Blue Sky. You've WhatsApped it as well, Chris, haven't you? You've sent the message to two different... So word for word, it's the same bloke. But I did my best to find something nice. And, here you go, from Jatine. I don't know who sounds more desperate, Keir or Kemi. And Isaac says, I think Badenoch landed the tone well in her questions, but completely failed to score the wide-open gaping goal when it came to content. She actually made it easier for Starmer when he really should have been politically punished for the last few shambles. I said to you that he was surprisingly chirpy. And you said to me, he enjoys this. He finds her such an easy opponent. And then 10 seconds later, he said it out loud.
Yeah,
so well
exactly.
done you.
Somebody has got some sort of connection with us back in Downing Street. We are clearly so influential. But no, I think he does genuinely enjoy it. He obviously said it, but I think it's obvious when you're watching him how much he enjoys it, because he does see her as a really easy target and sees her as really easy bait.
Even though she's getting better every week.
She's getting better every week.
According to...
According to herself.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot for a second who actually said that. I thought actually her first couple of questions were better because they were shorter. I think actually when she goes on a bit and she starts having a little bit of a rant, it doesn't work quite as well because the Prime Minister has more things to pick her up on. When he actually goes in with the killer questions, how much is this going to cost? How many people are going to get back into work? Those are the questions that he can't answer, and she knows that he can't answer that because these welfare reforms are not going to save money and they're not going to get people into work according to all of the experts that are looking at these things. That is the case. So I think she should probably try that focus a little bit more. It might mean that we actually get a quicker Prime Minister's questions, which some people will obviously welcome the fact that she gets a little bit less time. But actually, if you can make an impact in a shorter amount of time, I think that's fine. And her last question, I thought, was very powerful, where she was sort of summing up the Prime Minister's sort of, state of affairs at the moment, the last year, what it looks like, lots of U-turns, what did she say? Sort of anniversary, obviously talking about, that Keir Starmer's talking about, mistake after mistake, it's incoherent and shambolic, there's no plan here, series of U-turns. So I thought that was quite a strong question. But yes, I thought in the middle, got a little bit ranty, got a little bit giving Keir Starmer lots of things to pick her up on, and then she started to fall down again.
And also, on what possible planet would talking about living within your means be a good idea for someone associated with the last 14 years of Tory government?
I know. And also saying, shambolic, incoherent, chaos, that's exactly why voters voted out the Conservatives last year. The fact that they had lost control of the party, lost control of the country, the whole chaos of the Conservatives over 14 years of government was, I think, one of the number one reasons why Sir Keir Starmer won the election. And trying to accuse this government, and look, it is fair point to make. The last 24 hours have been chaotic, confusing, and it's fair to point that out. But actually, I think it's a weak argument for Kemi Badenoch to make because she just invites him to say, what about you?
And the other conversation that we had off-air was about whether or not it would be appropriate for you and I to comment, perhaps particularly me as a bloke, on Rachel Reeves' appearance, because she looked... And obviously, Kemi Badenoch then did, so that takes away my moral dilemma, because she looked broken.
She is completely... I mean, look, I think
she might have had a hay fever fit before she went in, or she might have had some terrible news, which is why I'm always a little bit wary of doing this. But the leader of the opposition wasn't wary at all, so... She
might, but look, she is on the front bench right now, struggling to hold herself together, and it's not unfair to say that. What it might be, we shouldn't, we can't speculate about why that might be, but, the Prime Minister has just refused, in Prime Minister's questions, to guarantee that she will be Chancellor. He's refusing to give her any warm words. This is looking particularly difficult for Keir Starmer for the Chancellor today, and she is clearly feeling the heat. And there are messages flying around social media now where they are showing clips of her. She is crying in the chamber.
There is a tear making its way down her cheek.
Exactly, and like I say, we don't know exactly what's been going on, the conversations at the heart of Downing Street. I have messaged a few of the Chancellor's team to see if there is a reason that she's upset, but she is clearly visibly upset, and the last 24 hours must have been incredibly difficult for both her and the government wider. But, Liz Kendall obviously embarrassed and humiliated herself yesterday in the House of Commons chamber when she stood up and basically said that these concessions were not coming. She was straight on the media on just a couple of hours after that vote, defending it, saying, nope, I want to stay as Work and Pension Secretary. We've done what we needed to do. This is not how I would have done things, going straight out there. But yes, there is definite concern on the front bench right now. You can see some of the cabinet ministers looking over in concern at Rachel Reeves and whether she is okay. And I think it's fair to say she's not. I don't remember
seeing something like this before. I mean, you'd have thought if she ducked out, it would perhaps have been less.
I think it would it have been worse if she hadn't?
I hope everything's all right. I mean, I hope it is just politics that's got to her and not something more personal.
Yeah, I hope that is the case. But equally, just shows the weight on her shoulders right now. And actually, you know what? It's not the first time I've looked at her in Prime Minister's Questions and thought she doesn't look fantastically happy. She doesn't look too pleased to be there. And, Kemi Badenoch pointing out she looks miserable, but because she does. She has got the weight of the world on her shoulders right now. And overnight, she's had to find another few £1 billion, and people are saying you're going to have to raise taxes already. That is the chatter. She is facing pressure of monumental proportions, and we are so far out from the budget right now. So yeah, I can totally understand why she's feeling a little bit under it. But for many people, this will be read as Keir Starmer is failing to back his Chancellor after what has been a very, very difficult and torrid 24 hours. I don't think it's unfair to start speculating about the future of the Chancellor. No. It's been done for sort of many months already, and there are MPs that are talking about who takes the blame for this fiasco in the last 24 hours. Is it the Prime Minister? Is it his judgment? Is it those in number 10? Is it the Work and Pension Secretary? Or is it Rachel Reeves? And she has been instrumental in managing the budget for Liz Kendall for these welfare cuts. At the time it was announced that they were going to try and cut the budget, lots of people were saying that actually Liz Kendall had argued for far more. She wanted to invest far more into the welfare system to try and encourage some of these reforms to save money later down the line. We were told at the time that was something that Rachel Reeves did not want to do. She did not want to invest in it. So she has very much been at the heart of some of these decisions, and I wonder whether that is playing out on our screens right now.
And we will probably know a little more a little later today. Natasha Clark, many thanks indeed.